All right, let's jump right into a question that seems to break the rules of common sense, a puzzle that has fascinated people for literally thousands of years.
So here it is. Does hot water freeze faster than cold water? Now, every bit of your intuition and probably what you learned in science class is screaming, no way, right? I mean, the hot water first has to cool down to where the cold water started. The cold water has a massive head start in the race to become ice. It seems impossible.
And yeah, common sense says no. But as it turns out, common sense might be missing a piece of the puzzle. And the modern story of this phenomenon, which we call the Mpemba Effect, didn't start in some fancy lab. Nope, it all started with a teenager in a cooking class, just trying to make some ice cream.
But before we get to that ice cream, you've got to know, this isn't some new, quirky idea. This observation has been popping up for a surprisingly long time.
I mean, we're talking about some of the biggest names in history. Aristotle, way back in the 4th century BCE, noticed the people would warm water in the sun if they wanted it to cool down faster. Then you have Sir Francis Bacon, one of the fathers of the scientific method, and René Descartes. They both saw it too, but for centuries, it was just this weird, unexplained footnote in history.
So now, let's jump forward to 1963, where this whole thing gets a name, all thanks to a very determined young student. Picture this, it's 1963. In a cooking class at a school in Tanzania, a student named Erasto Mpemba is making ice cream. The recipe is simple. Boil a mixture of milk and sugar, then freeze it. So here's what happened. All his classmates followed the rules. They let their boiled milk cool down before putting it in the shared freezer. But Mpemba, he was in a hurry. He took his mixture straight off the heat, still piping hot, and stuck it right in. And get this, an hour and a half later, his tray was solid ice cream. Everyone else's, still just a cold, sludgy liquid.
So naturally, Mpemba asked his physics teacher about it. And what did he get? He was totally dismissed. His teacher basically told him, "You were confused. That cannot happen. Just shut down," because his observation didn't fit the textbook.
But Mpemba knew what he saw, and he didn't give up. Later, when a physicist named Dennis Osborne came to visit his school, Mpemba asked his question again. This time, he found someone who was actually curious. Osborne was skeptical, sure, but he was intrigued. So they ran the experiment, confirmed the result, and in 1969, they published a paper together, officially giving this bizarre phenomenon its name.
Okay, so this brings us to the big question. How in the world could this actually work? What is going on physically that lets hot water win the race to freezing?
Well, scientists have figured out it's not just one thing. It's usually a team of factors working together. And the main players in this story are evaporation, convection, supercooling, and dissolved gases, and even just how the container interacts with the freezer. Let's start with the most obvious one, evaporation. You know how hot water steams? That steam is literally water leaving the cup. So, as the hot water cools, it's also losing mass. It has less stuff to freeze by the end. The cold water barely evaporates, so it's starting with more water to turn into ice.
And this isn't just a tiny amount either. In some experiments, water cooling from around 80 down to 40 degrees Celsius can lose over 7% of its total mass. That's a serious head start for the hot water team.
Next up, we have convection. Think of it like a little engine inside the water. In hot water, the warm water is constantly rising and the cooler water from the edges is sinking. This creates these powerful currents that act like a conveyor belt, carrying heat to the surface and sides and getting it out of there much faster. Cold water is much lazier. Its currents are weak, so it cools down a lot more slowly.
Now this one's a little more subtle, but it's super important. When you boil water, you force out a lot of the dissolved gases that are normally in it. Those dissolved gases can act like tiny impurities that get in the way of ice crystals forming. So cold water, which is full of these gases, can sometimes supercool. It can actually stay liquid even when it's below 0 degrees Celsius. The hot water, which has been cleaned of these gases, doesn't have this problem. It's ready to freeze right on schedule at 0 degrees.
So you're probably thinking, okay, that all makes sense. Case closed. But if it were that simple, this wouldn't still be a debate. Here's the catch.
The Mpemba effect isn't some universal law of physics. It's a very real thing, but it only happens under a very specific set of conditions. And that's exactly why it's so frustratingly hard for scientists to pin down and replicate every single time.
So many little things can change the outcome. Where do you put the thermometer? What's your ice tray made of? And here's a great real-world one. Think about the layer of frost in your freezer. If you put a cold cup on it, that frost acts like insulation, slowing things down. But a hot cup? It melts right through the frost, making direct contact with the cold shelf and dumping its heat way faster. Even how you define frozen matters.
But even with all the debate and controversy, the quest to understand Mpemba's question has really pushed science into some cool new territory. You know, the real gift of this puzzle is that it's a perfect, everyday example of what physicists call an out-of-equilibrium system. That's just a fancy way of saying stuff that's in the middle of changing. And these systems are notoriously complicated and hard to predict. The Mpemba effect has given scientists a tangible problem to chew on.
And the mystery just keeps getting deeper. As recently as a few years ago, researchers found something even wilder, a double Mpemba effect. Basically, it means that as you increase the starting temperature of the water, it can get faster to freeze, then slower, then faster again. Just when you think you've got it figured out, nature throws you another curveball.
So, after all that, what's the final answer? Well, the most honest answer is a fascinating and maybe a little frustrating, sometimes yes. It all depends on the specific setup, the temperatures, the containers, the whole shebang.
And I want to leave you with this incredible quote from Dennis Osborne, the physicist who worked with Mpemba. He said this, "Whole thing points to the danger of an authoritarian physics, a science where we trust the textbook more than we trust our own eyes and our own observations."
And that really is the perfect takeaway, isn't it? Erasto Mpemba, just a kid making ice cream, saw something that didn't make sense and had the courage to ask why. It just makes you wonder, what other simple things that we see every day, things we completely take for granted, are just waiting for someone to look a little closer and ask that same question?